Oh, gotcha. So Royal Cheese is actually here. That's perfect. Uh, Royal Cheese says, "Hey, just got here. Actually, I don't like to exploit it, so I don't use the piano stool, which is meta. I carry a 5 kilogram chair. I don't sit as I feel it's a bit cheaty to get faster recovery. So I rest, but I try not to do it. Yeah, no, like, and that's I understand because when you sit and you rest, it's much faster. That's fair. Royal Cheese saying he doesn't feel bad about the spin thing because in real life you can just turn your head and look, back and forth. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm actually gonna drop a shout out because that's what I'm gonna do. I also have a new theory on the problem with the execution animation thing. And this theory is just me kind of looking at that versus a bunch of other times I've executed zombies, so we have not done proper science behind it. My theory is when you get close enough to the zombie, like you're too close as it were, that the animation messes up, where it's kind of like where you can walk through a zombie and swing and just miss the zombie. Same idea, but the execution animation, and I think it's just got what's the word I want to say? Not a little bit less cushion, where it's like I should be fine here, but like if I was like about that position, you like it glitches because you're kind of behind the zombie after the animation starts. That's my theory now. It still shouldn't work that way. But I'm just trying to isolate. It's like, okay, for thousands and thousands of kills, it's got to be more than just RNG. Let's see. Orochi says, I kind of feel like whenever you rest in, i.e. a chair or a car or anywhere, you should have a rest meter. No chair necessary. Hey, thank you for that raid, Peter Ponders. Give me a second. I'm going to get you a shout out. But yeah, now I think what I would like for the for resting is to actually quote unquote rest. You must be seated. Like don't double dip it or anything like that. The act of resting, you are seated for it, and it's just like the normal resting amount. I think that's what I would want to see. And like sitting down in a chair would automatically be resting within itself. Like you wouldn't have like 2 actions you have to do. Because I think the fair compromise of you've gone into a seated position, therefore you either do the slow stand-up, or you do the fast stand-up, which costs you stamina, so you could come out with a net negative. I think that's fair. And I almost forgot. So how was your stream, Peter? I know I hopped in there for a little bit, hanged out, checking out what you're doing. You were doing some Project Zomboid, I believe it was Project Zomboid RP on the Deep Fried Brain server, if I'm not mistaken. So how was your stream? Hey, Cryptid, how's it going? Yeah, so that's what I'm curious. Like, I would like to see resting actually required to be seated. Because otherwise, I should be able to, like, go up to the side of a van and just choose rest. And I don't want to do. I don't know. Alright, hunting knife on that one. We'll come back for it. I've actually gotten to the point of almost just using the hunting knives. The zombie pops are just too high to sit there and use the crowbars for any length of real time. Yep, I'll catch up with Chad in a minute. Doing the same old, poking the zombies again and again with knives. I will say, the migrations at 16x Pop in Rosewood have been interesting. It feels just like every 12 hours, zombies close in from all sides at once. It's like, but why? But why? Like we haven't even driven the car today, and we keep having zombies like close in from all sides. I'm like, but stop! We killed over 10,000 zombies here. Stop! Let me have this one streak. I still don't level everything. Like, I'm also seeing this as a good opportunity where it's like, you know, people say, oh, weapon X is better than weapon Y. I'm like, alright, well, I am going to use every weapon to level 10, like, so far as category. That way I know I'm making about as informed decision as I can, because I will have used them all. Quite a bit. Alright, let me catch up. Let's see. Roller Cheese says, that would be fair, assuming it's not like that because there's no actual sitting chairs. Yeah, like that'd be the thing, is there's no animation for you actually sitting in a chair right now. And so like that's the whole thing. Peter Ponders, well, Deonchuk saying, hello Raiders. Peter Ponders saying, hello lovely people, I hope y'all are having a great day / night. It's been going good here. I was being super indecisive about what game I was playing, and I was like, City Skylines. No, wait, Project Zomboid. Because they do try and keep 2 different games going on the channel. We were doing RimWorld, used to be what we did Sunday, Monday, but that's kind of really dropped in viewership so far as Twitch as a whole. So I'm like, alright, maybe we get rid of that. I Can't Kill Anyone says, I wish there was a way to turn off the animations for the spears and knives. I'd actually use them then. Yeah, the one thing I'll give the knife is you can completely prevent yourself from ever executing by moving back when you stab. Your character will only execute if you stop. You'll watch your character move their second hand up. And once they have that second hand up, that usually means your next hit is going to be an execute. Not always, but most of the time. But, with the spears, it does feel like, okay, we're good. Like, they're a straight line. I'm stabbing them. It's fine. I actually do want to execute now. And you have, like, the one in front of you, the one kind of just slightly catty corner to you. And your character will stab and you're going, why? Why are you doing this? Like, let me go. And I haven't had it catch me yet and get me hurt. But I've sat there with the spear where I'm just, like, holding, like, run in the left button, just going, please, just let me go. I just went away. I didn't want this. This isn't what I wanted. Peter Pounder saying, the legendary Royal with Cheese TV. 07. Good to see you again. Good day, Peter Pounder. Great to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. Cool. Susanna likes cake saying, they are hungry, as always. They're coming for my birthday party. Yeah, we did pass 1 year. Just a little bit ago. Let's see. It's funny because Rosewood population in the 90s was like 2K tops. Okay, just Snapper Facts Bra saying, Evan, you suck. That's random. If that's actually like hostile towards someone, let me know and I'll deal with it. But if it's just in good fun, I'll leave it alone. Cole saying, good day. I Can't Kill Anyone says, I never asked for this. Yes. Are you in need of drunken knowledge? I mean, it depends. Well, oh, there was something we talked about that was like, so I agree with Cheese that I would like to see the spear animation speed reduced. Like, there's 1 or 2 animations that are specifically fast. I personally liked the idea that I, as the player, decide when to fire the execution animation. Like, that is a decision I make, and if I use it poorly, like I walk right in the middle of a group of zombies and fire off the execution animation, that's a consequence I live with. That, you know, I immediately die because I've done the dumb. But I did like the idea that... Oh, was it DN check? I don't want to misattribute. See, DN check and Burn and Sun. But they're talking about... Kind of like, if you remember from Fallout, you have bats. Where when you do enough stuff, you can do a crit hit. Something like that, where over time you can get yourself scaled up where, like, 1 in 10 hits can be a crit. I am out of food. I guess it's time to go. I didn't plan on going yet, but we need to go back and get our food. But yeah, so I kind of like the idea of something of having a lot more player agency over it. Of just being able to go very deliberately, I want to crit. I should probably also check on how this truck is doing. We've been driving it for quite a while. We are driving slow because we've already rolled this truck once, and we were only going like 20 miles an hour. Like, we were barely crawling, and the truck just went beep. But I do like the idea of giving player agency of either I get to choose exactly when I try for a crit, and you can just have it so if you fail to crit, you just do like a regular hit kind of thing, not a big deal, or you do like the VATS thing where you do enough damage or whatever the threshold is to then be eligible for it. But that, like, I 100% say, I am willing to freeze myself in place now, but I have chosen to do this in this moment. Like, that should be a decision I, the player, make, is saying, I would like to not be able to move, to just destroy this zombie's face. And if I choose to misuse it, that's on me. Because like I said, while the knife I haven't had problems with, other than like we had the one where, you know, I did shove the zombie off, so I'm like, okay. Still trying to isolate the cause of that. It's just the software developer mind in myself says, this isn't something where it rolls a random dice. There's some input and output that are not lining up correctly. Like, you're too close and it's not registering, the zombies and registering as being hit. And therefore, you know, the zombie's animation doesn't lock. Or, you know, something is occurring, or both animations are triggering too close, and like there's a delay on when the execution animation triggers to lock the zombie's animation that's just not happening because of it. You know, we're not in a rush home. The zombies along the road here get to die. And that's the software dev coming on me, that like I see the game doing something that doesn't make sense. I'm like, okay, there is a reason it's doing it. What is it? Solo cashing in 10 push-ups, so I'm going to knock those out here in just a second. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm also stealing bites of my lunch because I did not plan well. I was like, I can start the stream. I'll have time to eat my food before, like, my timer goes up. I was wrong. Oh, I forgot to document those push-ups. Give me 1 second. It is part of a resolution thing between me and my brothers. But it's also a thing that's fun. That's not the number it needs to be. For chat. Getting rid of those things was not my smartest idea. Getting rid of which things? The points? Points are free. That's like saying you spent too much Monopoly money. But yeah, anytime a game gives you the options for player agency over just random chance, I'm almost always for it. There's exceptions, but I'm almost always for it. Like, I do believe there is a good place for RNG and stuff, like, you know, loot being dropped. I think it is good that it's RNG, that you don't just get what you want every time. Ooh. Banner doubling the point cost again. That's gonna catch up to winning Twitch pretty soon. Alright. But yeah, no, that's, I'm surprised at how many people are, engaging with that. Like, I knew people would, I just didn't think that much. Alright, Peter Ponder saying, gotta lurk. Have a ragdoll into bed soon. Even a short time was nice. Thank you for it. Have a great night, you lovely people. You sleep well, Peter. Thank you for the raid, and thank you for tuning in and all that. I do really appreciate it. And on that note, thank you for everyone who's been tuning in, who's been lurking, chatting, following, subscribing, doing the bits, the donos, the hosts, the raids, and all that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you are enjoying the stream. So, we're making really good progress in Rosewood. It doesn't feel like we're making all that much progress. A big reason why I think it's going so slow in Rosewood is because we have the migrations turned on and the helicopters and all that stuff. Rosewood is a bit of a weird town in this game, in that, like, the city has its zombies in it, and it's not an insignificant number. It's not like West Point or Mulder or anything, but it's decent. But all of the woods around Rosewood, I found to have fairly high zombie pops for some reason. Like, that, we've lost a character because we went into the woods and we're like, why are there so many zombies here? And just got overwhelmed by zombies in the woods northeast of Rosewood. And so I think is happening is just, we're pulling all those ridiculous number of zombies out of the woods. And that's just what keeps reinforcing Rosewood. Because, like, the fact that Rosewood is putting up such an incredible fight by comparison to, like, Riverside and that, like, Rosewood should be the harder of the two of them. But by it's just how many magnitudes more zombies it seems like we're finding. Oh. It's just like, something's happening here. Yeah. Now, I could also see, if we were to get, like, we're not close enough to the prison for that to be meaningful, I don't think. But I could also see with how many zombies will probably be in the prison area. I could certainly see, like, the zombies, you know, effectively once they load in, that they start pushing out at us. Like, that's actually how I expect the attack on Louisville to go. Is that I'm going to probably get to the warehouse south of Louisville, get anywhere near that checkpoint, and then just basically stand back and try and hold our ground as the zombies just pressure out of Louisville once they're loaded in. And just keep fighting at the warehouse until they finally, we get a nice breather. Which actually sounds like a nice way for this to adjust, that we spend, you know, so much of the game, like, tracking down and hunting and killing all the zombies, and then we get there and it's just like, hold the line as best we can. Can you be a moderator? This is one of those things I need to figure out, is how I'm handling moderators on the channel. Like, it is, because I have not been asking anyone, because I don't, like, you're asking people to do stuff while they're trying to relax kind of thing. At the same time, I don't know how I want to vet moderators. Like, I haven't figured that out, so I don't... I guess as a question, are you moderating anyone else's channels? Hey, Rockbeard, how's it going? Like, that doesn't mean, like, I'm not going to choose someone who's not moderator or whatever. Like, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Because I do need to get myself, like, if people are willing kind of thing, like, I do need to get some moderators for the channel. It's something I need to do. Yes, I'm sorry. You need 6 years of moderation experience for this unpaid moderation position. I find the best way to work out who is a friend is to lend lots of people small amounts of money. Oh yeah. See who actually pays it back kind of thing. Eek. It's usually chill. We've had to ban a few people. Like, I've personally, as far as actual human beings, only had to ban 2. One came in here, and to give you an idea about the type of person they were, the very first thing, because I had links turned back on at one point, the very first thing they did is they dropped in, they posted a link to a YouTube music video, which I didn't click on because, you know, I don't do that during stream, just in case. They said, this is the type of song the woke crowd won't like. And it was just like mainly like, oh. And like, you know, I knocked the link out, I was like, alright, like, don't, like, if you're gonna be here to, like, just kind of cause trouble, like, you know, don't do that. If you're here to chill and hang, like, whatever. And, like, there was, like, 1 or 2 messages back and forth. It's like, oh, well, it's your stream, it's your rules, I guess I have to obey. And I'm like, you know what? Ban. Like, I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt and whatever, but, nah. They were strictly looking to get people upset, so they were shown the door. And then the other one was like a really weird self-promotion thing where the person's like, hey chat, can you help me with something? I'm kind of going, why is this first person's message in my channel, hey chat, can you help me with something? Like, again, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, but I already have your name typed in to time you out and possibly ban you. And it was something, it's like, you know, I want to go to this person's chat or this channel and I want to break their bot. And I'm like, okay, this person's just self-promoting for this other channel, and the excuse is that, you know, we're messing with this bot. I'm like, yeah, you know, immediately timed them out. So like, yeah, don't promote someone else's channel here. And then their next comment, like, once the timeout ran out, was just blast all the emotes for that channel. I'm like, all right, ban. Like, clearly you didn't get the self-promotion. Like, and I am very generous with anytime I see another streamer in here that, like, oh hey, you know, like, you know, oh hey, we're playing Project Zomboid, you know, someone who's playing Project Zomboid that stream hopped in. Let me go ahead and give him a shout out. Or sometimes, like, we'll just be talking and be like, oh yeah, this one person was doing this run. Oh, we're talking about this person, here's a shout out for them. Like, so I hand shout outs very, very generously. But it's just very much like, look man, I got to initiate. You don't just hop in here. I don't even think the other person was playing Project Zomboid either. I think they literally just looked at who had any kind of, like, viewership at the moment. They were just kind of, like, going down the list or whatever. People in, like, the medium viewership range. You know, people who are big enough to get a hold of a bunch of people, but people who are small enough that they may or may not have moderators. Rockford's like, oh, definitely. You do shoutouts, like, all the time, I feel like. Yeah. No, and it's because it's one of the things that I'm a believer is I do not believe that stuff like streaming is a zero-sum game. I need to get that repaired. It's not by, you know, it's not like I shout out Royal with Cheese and suddenly, like, my viewership drops or something. It's not that kind of thing. It very much is community-oriented, where if I'm rating other people who have similar audiences, that kind of thing, there is some back and forth with that. Like, sure, I might have a few viewers who go, oh, I like this other person's stream, and then they start tuning in there more often. It's gonna happen. That's fine. Like, cool. I've helped this other person. There's gonna be people who watch both streams. Even better for both of us. You're also gonna have people from their stream who are gonna go, oh hey, here's more content, I'm gonna check it out too. I personally believe that almost always you're going to, like, both people involved in the raid are going to benefit. Like, both are going to get more collective eyeballs on them, even if a few individuals float one way or the other. And I mean, you get to be active in the community. Like, it's worth taking your time to hop into people's channels and just chat and hang out. Like, that's good for everyone. And that's I have been on people's streams where, like, they'll get raid and they're like, oh, you're just raiding because you want to, like, get access to my viewers. I'm like, what is this person's problem? How do they get more than 5 viewers? Like, what is this toxicity? What is happening right now? And I haven't had that pointed at me, to be clear. That's just been, because I've only been streaming for a little while. But I've definitely seen people who they'll respond to that. And it's one thing, like, if you go into someone's channel and you're like, hey, I also stream the same game that you are streaming, person that I have never spoken to, or in any way shouted out or promoted in any way, and are just basically jumping into your channel, and the very first thing I'm talking about is my own stream. But, like, it's weird when people just get, like, super hostile, like, really benign stuff. Actually, we're at the point where I'm going to push these radishes back. Do I have much fish left? I think we're low on fish at this point. Yeah. We'll get more fish. But also, I need to harvest the broccoli. Not a plant. Okay. I'll have to look. Maybe those plants died. They probably did die. Like, since we've been getting so many, I've just been like, I could water this, but I'm not gonna. Oh, yeah, that. Potatoes, I have this weird thing where I've had bad luck with them rotting. Like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I mean, we have had a hell of a lot of rain. I actually don't know what goes into determining it. That is something I need to learn more with the game, is some of the nuance there. So what I was going to do is say, okay, we've got a bunch of potatoes. Let's grab... Oh, hell, I don't want to deal with a bunch of different plants. Let's just grab more potatoes. It's fine. Those. One of these should be fine. Grab a trowel. Alright, cool. Good night. Rockbird said, oh, by the way, I've been lurking for a short while yesterday. Sadly, I had to leave when you got hurt by the silly crawler. Glad to see you survived. Yeah, I was pretty salty about the crawler. Indie Soda devs, if you're in this channel, make the hitbox of the crawlers way bigger than they normally are. Because standing on top of a crawler, smashing the ground 3 different places with a machete, trying to hit this stupid crawler, and still not hitting it and getting a laceration after I've killed 55,000 zombies, not a good feel. I shouldn't have to break out a crowbar or a nightstick or something to give me this huge range. A machete is not a small weapon. Like, I've absolutely gotten in lots of trouble with them as well, trying to stomp on them. Oh, like, if I had died to that crawler, we probably would have been done with Project Zomboid for the day, and I would have gone to Vampire Survivors. Like, I'd be back in Project Zomboid the next time, like, the next Project Zomboid stream, but I'd been like, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. Those are the deaths that feel bad. It's like, you didn't misplay it. It's the game has something that doesn't work well, and you're fighting with it. It's kind of like the people who took deaths where, the game was bugged and their, like, car and the trailer would float up in the air, and you just heard that crunching noise again and again would happen on multiplayer with desync sometimes. It's that kind of feeling death, where it's like, this wasn't me, the player, messing up. This was the game messing up. Like, this isn't working how it should. That'd be the same, like, with, if we did the execution animation and I got bitten through that, I'd have been like, okay. Like, this is the kind of death that shouldn't work this way. It's not that I ate poisoned food, it's not that I whiffed a swing or ran into a room with 10 zombies that, I didn't check my corners, or walked into a building with 2 or 3 hordes outside thinking I could sneak away with it, then I didn't. Or, slam my car into a tree at going, 75. Like, that's like, I can point back at me and say, there's a lesson to learn here, there's a way to fix this, like, this is on you. Like, when you're trying to engage the mechanic, and just the hitbox doesn't line up at all. Like, that's like another thing I wish. Like, right now, the way Project Zomboid works is with stuff that are irregular shapes. So when you have, like, a big fountain that's a circle, or a locker that takes up half a tile, most of the time, they make the entire tile unwalkable. And that has absolutely gotten me killed before. And that is one of those things I'm like, no, that shouldn't be that way. Like the lockers. Make the locker tile walkable. Why isn't it lockable? It covers half the tile. I should be allowed to walk in it because it makes sense for me to be able to walk in that. In real life, I can sneak around the zombie in that tile. The fountain tile, where you see like this big open green area, and then you slap into this immovable terrain, and you're going, what am I running into? And it only takes that 1 second that you bounce into that invisible barrier, and then, the zombie that was following 2 seconds behind you that you're walking away from or trying to get around or whatever, and then it grabs you. You're like, well, I just died to an invisible wall. Or here's one that I have noticed sometimes, and I think it's from placing wood tiles in water, is if I walk over here... How's that going to feel to die to this one? I've tried tearing those up, replacing it. That tile cannot walk on it. And I've got like 2 or 3 of them over here as well. Where's the other one? There's another one over here somewhere. There's another one. Yep. Yep. Could you imagine dying to that? Losing track of which invisible tile is not really walkable? And I've tried everything to fix them. I've tried sledgehammering them and replacing them. I've tried putting the floor back in. I've tried everything I could think of. It's just certain blocks in the map seem to be like cursed that you just cannot walk on. Yep, and I can't kill anyone says, in real life, half my job is squeezing into tight places in buildings. Way back in the day, I used to run my own business doing networking consulting and computer repair. I do not miss the many places I had to go to run cable. I do not miss any of it at all. Like, open-air attics are a curse that I never want to experience again crawling through. Where you just open it, it's like, well, this whole place is spider webs. I really hope the descendants of these spider webs aren't here. Alright, these cabs are all going to go bad. That's fine. And this is the reason I have, like, zero care about, being wasteful on the plants. Like, I've got so much. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, I put those into the ground, but I actually don't really care about that even. Like, if I have, like, I'm just gonna take these cabs, I'm just gonna chuck all these in the composter. I'm not even using the compost because I don't need it. I got to the point I stopped growing a variety of stuff. I just started growing pretty much nothing but potatoes. Oh, of course. One too many potatoes to put in the freezer. That's fine. I'll eat it here. Alright. So let's get ourselves some fish. Once again, when you look at the fishing, it will show us like a lower abundance until it updates. So, if you ever go, it's like, why am I not getting my fish back? I seem to have no fish. It's fine. You do. It just refreshes weird. Fishing early in the morning, like dawn as well as dusk, you have a higher chance of catching fish. During the winter, you can technically catch fish, but you have to be like super high fishing and fish like dawn and dusk to get anything meaningful. More than likely, you will just starve to death trying to fish. Come on, give me one more. That's fine, whatever. And even though I have fish that's older in like the cabinet, I don't care. I've got so much food at the point, like I genuinely don't care. I need to put the army coat in so I don't accidentally like rip it or anything like that. I need to put it in the back of the car. Oh, we took it off because it's just getting too hot for me to be wearing it. And we're not gonna be like tactical on eating these fish or anything. We are going to go strategy, fish go in mouth. That is our entire approach to the dealing with the fish. It's fish go in mouth. We just want to get calories, so we don't care about like if we're being wasteful on the hunger, anything like that. Just more fish. Give all fish. We're just gonna eat fish until our character's like, no, I won't do it. Yeah, gotta get them gains. I didn't realize it increased the calories of it, but yeah. Let me eat the little bait fish real fast. Yeah, usually what I end up doing with this, I end up just shoveling the fish into our mouth and slowly start gaining weight. And then I'll start actually taking the time to put in the bowl after that point. Okay. Our character's like, nope, not doing it. Just don't want it. Too much fish. I've had it.